All right. So, hi, good evening, everyone. And I already see a lot of enthusiastic folks commenting on the chat box. So, great to see you all. And we would be starting shortly. So, a lot of people are already joined, and we are very much looking forward to this session and your active participation. And yeah, so now let's get started with this session today. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session on how to ace hackathons, the winner's guide, organized by Hack to Scale. I am Avnish and I'll be your host for the session today. I represent the product team at HactoSkill, your go to person for innovation management catering to students, developers, professionals, startups, and communities. Now let's hop on to the today's agenda of the session. So today's agenda is all about understanding the winning strategies behind several global level hackathons and national level hackathons. A hackathon that goes just beyond winning caches or prizes or rewards. It's more about seizing every opportunity that comes your way and making the best experience out of it. So, now, without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed panelists for this session. So, moving on to the speaker introductions for now. First, we have Mayank Rai. He is the winner of Electhon 23, an initiative by Election Commission of India. Mayank wowed the crowd with his voter registration enhancement initiative, revolutionizing the way citizens register to vote. So, welcome to the panel, Mayank. Next on deck, we have got Vinugopal from ICC Next in Hackathon 1.0, whose project One Touch Go brought cricket to life through augmented reality. A warm welcome to you, Venugopal. Next up, we have Mihir, the brain behind StumpEye, the game changer at ICC Next Gen Hackathon version 2.0. Mihir's innovation is making wireless stump cameras accessible to grassroots cricket communities. Welcome aboard, Mihir. We are very delighted to have you here. Joining us from the Code with Maps hackathon by Google Maps platform are Bhumi and Charmi. Their pregnancy friendly map is a testament to their dedication to supporting mothers during pregnancy. Welcome to this interaction session, Bhumi and Charmi. Further, lastly but not the least, reaching to the stars, we have Aditya from IISF Hackathon by ISRO. His AI driven cybersecurity enhancement project is at the forefront of proactive threat detection. Welcome to the panel, Aditya. All right, so we are all live now, and now I'll just would like to thank all of you, all the panelists, for joining in today. And this is a great opportunity to interact with all of you at this one place. We have been interacting so far around different hackathons, different initiatives, but to have you all in a single stage, and I very much look forward to the productive session and answering the queries that you'll be having around all the developer community that they have. So the winner mindset, and as Vinu says, the cheat code of winning a hackathon. So let's dive into it. For the icebreaker session, let's start with one-on-one conversation with each one of you. Now let's dive into the minds of these innovators, starting with Bhumi. So Bhumi, did you and Chami have predefined roles in your project, or did they evolve naturally as you went?
Hi everyone. As we started our project, we didn't have strictly predefined roles in our work. Instead, we adopted a flexible approach where we both contributed to various aspects based on our interest. For instance, Charmi took the lead on the user interface while I worked on the backend part. She also worked on the API integration, whereas I worked on the detailed thing in the API. So this way we both work together and make this project successful.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhumi, for this insight. I hope this helps a lot of developers think about how exactly the team management and team dynamics work for them. So now moving on to Chami. So Chami, how confident were you in project vision from the get-go? Like, did you find yourself deviating from the initial plan during throughout the development phases? Chami, you are on mute. So could you please unmute?
Sorry.
Great.
Hello, everyone. So, when we choose this project, we are very sure that it is going to be a very emotional impact to our end user. The mother user, the first, we put ourselves as a user, as an end user, as a mother user, and we feel how mother will feel when we use our solution. So, uh, and during development, we only focus on how easy we can implement it and how mother user can easily use our solution. We only focus on the solution itself.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Sami, for that insight. And now moving forward, we have Mayank with us. So, Mayank, with your impressive track record in hackathons, what's your secret to staying motivated regardless of the outcome? Like, you keep participating no matter what be the result, and you try to give your best. So, if you can share your secret to motivation with all of us.
Sure, sure. First of all, hi everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank Hack2Skill for inviting me in this esteemed panel. Moving on to the question, I think it's all about passion. Uh, Me and my team, comprising of three other members, namely Sarvottam, Pranav, and GK. were always passionate about latest technologies and leveraging those technologies into creating innovative projects. And that's what, in my opinion, keeps us motivated into participating in multiple hackathons, submitting our projects. Uh, Another thing which I would say, excites us is the networking and the overall experience we get when we participate in a particular hackathon. It's always so enriching and kind of so full of enthusiasm. It's almost kind of a drug. Once you participate in one of the hackathons, you always try to participate in as many as possible.
Got it, got it. Thank you so much, Mayank. So definitely the secret is the learning outcome. How do you make the best out of that experience for which we have this session as well? So we very much look forward to uncovering those secrets with Mayank soon. So moving on, we have Aditya. So Aditya, with so many problem statement at the IISF hackathon, how did you pinpoint on which exactly is the right challenge for your team to build a solution for?
Yeah. Hi everyone. Um, okay. So when you come up with so many problem statements when you're going for a hackathon, you're going with a team. You're not going solo, right? You know your skills. It's all about you knowing the skills of all of your team members. So when all of your team members come together and you all know what you're skilled at, you can look at the problem statements and see if I'm a good fit for this, or if this problem statement is a good fit for me. So we thought, since most of us are interested in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, we chose that problem statement. But again, picking this problem statement totally depends on your skills and your interests. That's it.
Got it. So thank you so much, Aditya, for your valuable insights. Now, further, we have Vinu. So, Vinu, your AR project was all about enhancing fan experiences, right? So, can you walk us through the process of prioritizing the features which should be there in the MVP? Like it's a hackathon environment, and you're diving into all of the successful project and what exactly to build to showcase for the proof of concept.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Avnish, and good to be here, first of all. Yeah, I think the first and foremost motivation towards this hackathon was its ICC and its cricket, right? So we all are cricket fans, and that was something which was the biggest motivation. And then once we saw the idea of fan engagement, I had a few friends working in Panelist, the company that we participated with, and we knew that we have a few things that could kind of solve different problems in fan engagement. And in this case, we identified that there is so much to do when it comes to general fan engagement in cricket, right? So we had a few problem statements already defined in terms of what all exists, as fan engagement strategies, and how can we map that and make a solution out of it, right? So how do we kind of get the best of experiences for cricket fans sitting at home, right? Because right now, if you see, the Gen Z fans or the modern day fans are, pretty much across the world, right? It's not just about fans sitting in stadiums, but it's also about fans on social media, using their phones on OTT platforms, watching the game on television. So I think there was a gap in terms of how fan engagement can be perceived for a fan sitting in stadia versus a fan sitting at home, and how do we kind of cater to that 90 to 92% of fans who are outside stadiums, right? Because only typically 8% of fans go to stadiums. So that's where we thought augmented reality is pretty much, a successful experiential way of showing fans, how data can be perceived and how data can be kind of, integrated with the ICC scoring providers and shown in an immersive way. And that's where, the Gen Zs or the modern day fans are pretty much moving towards, right? They have phones, they have, smartphones and everything to kind of access cool features. So that's where the gap was. And that's where we thought, AR is a great feature to showcase stats, which is available with broadcasters, but not available for the general fan. So that's where the idea came about.
Got it. That's so great to hear. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, further, Mihir, to ensure with Stumpi, like totally revolutionizing the agenda, like even in grassroots, you made it so affordable for cricket to be like the DRS system and the whole revolution that you bring. So this affordable wireless camera system shines in front of the jury. So what exactly was the strategy to craft a standing out presentation for the jury members, and what exactly were the key insights that you focus on that this will make my project stand out? And since it's ICC, it's grand. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me here. So all the efforts that we put in during the hackathon, finally it comes down to the last phase where you are actually presenting to the jury. The most important bit we talk about is confidence. I'm going to paste the definition of confidence that I have onto the channel here. So for me, confidence is about each letter of the spelling. So C stands for checking the infrastructure support, which means your audio visuals do their work as expected. Because these are minor things we generally tend to miss out on. But this, at the end of the day, that's really important. We have to open with a very strong one-liner about your idea, about your product, about your concept. One of the things that I've observed is we should never gate crash our team members. So when one of the team members is talking and you try to stop them or cross over, then that shows a very bad picture in front of the jury. We have to focus on making it interactive and engaging for all the jury members as well as audience. So your presentations have to be something that people love watching it. Don't get intimidated by other participants, because it happened with me as well. I saw some fantastic ideas being presented, but if you get intimidated by your competitors, by the other participants, that will bring your confidence down. Most important thing is to ensure that your idea is very simple and it's very straightforward for people to relate. That is important. And then we also need to be aware that we are respectful towards other participants. I observed that a couple of times that just to show that their idea was better, they try to show that their competitive idea is not good and so on. That doesn't sit well with the audience as well as the jury. Clarity of answers is important, because we don't have to beat around the bush, don't have to give too many explanations, and people tend to get bored. And finally, I think we need to engage the entire jury. So if there are a couple of jury members that you are continuously targeting, then the other jury members can get a bit demotivated. So you've got to ensure that you engage the jury and all the audience. So there's a separate definition of confidence, and that's what you need.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much, Mihir. So that was great to know all about the pitching strategy. And definitely one of the parts among that which you covered around managing the team and not like cutting out in between the speeches should be considered. So yeah, definitely it was a great insight, and we look forward to learning more about that. Now I see a lot of people are excited about the goodies and swags and the campaigns around that. So let me show in the comments if you guys want to know about what exactly is the big reveal for how to get the goodies out of this session. Please type it down in the chat box. Okay, so we have good amount of comments pouring in now. All right, guys. So we have a social media contest, and the details of that will be shared in the chat box itself. And you can see how you can interact with the session as well as participate in the contest. So it's basically a simple Google form which you need to fill about how enthusiastic you are about this session by the end of the day, that is midnight today. And we'll be further like few lucky winners will be getting exciting rewards and goodies get from Hack to Scale. So without any further delay, we'll thank all the panelists for joining in. And we've already done the icebreaker part, but the main segment starts now. So can you have any guesses that who is coming up, the special guest of the honor of this session? Do you guys have any guesses? Like, please type it down in the chat box. We have a special panel member coming up for the next segment. All right, so that's the biggest reveal, and we have our panelists. A lot of you guessed it right. It's Kaushik Roy, the CTO of Hack to Skill. So it's my pleasure to introduce Kaushik Roy to the panel. Hack to Skill CTO. He has won over 50 hackathons and has mentored over 1,000 student developers across 100 plus hackathons and still counting. Get ready for the discussion fueled by Kaushik's expertise in cutting edge technologies as well as the past experience of winning multiple hackathons. So, once again, a very warm welcome to you, Kaushik Ram.
Hey, hi, thank you, Avnish. Thanks a lot. And I'd say, like, too much of a hallelujah or a noise out there. But yeah, that's not me. Obviously, that's someone else. That was not me who has won those hackathons. I'm just another guy, I'd say, who is trying to solve certain problems and trying to help create solutions to the situations that are out there. So that is what we do, what we as an organization believe in, is that not only empowering the developers out here in the ecosystem, not only developers, the innovators, the idea creators, and bringing them, providing them an opportunity or a stage wherein they can showcase their talent to the world, and obviously definitely making an impact and change into the entire ecosystem, be it through the winners that they are today, that are here with us today. They are the true champs, I'd say. um, be it Mayank, be it Bhumi, be it Venu, be it Aditya, Charmi, or Mihir. They are the ones who have been at the forefront of innovation, I'd say, and bringing and driving the innovation in the ecosystem wherever they are representing, be it seasoned professionals or hackathon hustlers like Mayank, I'd say. He's here. I've seen him participate in multiple hackathons. So we just quickly like to discuss, like, our entire motive is that Venu was mentioning a few minutes before we started, the agenda or the objective of this session is that we share our cheat code with you guys so that someday later on you also are amongst with us and you share your tips and we carry on this legacy to further, I'd say, developers. So with this, obviously, as I stated, like, let's start with Venu himself, because he's the one who coined that we are gonna provide cheat code to everyone. So Venu, what is the first cheat code that you'd be providing, and also, like, how did you get to know about Hack to Skill? And not only Hack to Skill, what was your foray or driving force when you wanted to participate in a cricket hackathon which was happening for the first time in the globe?
Thank you, Kaushik. On a lighter note, I'll charge you guys a royalty for that line. Just kidding. So, yeah.
Let's make a property out of it first, and then definitely we can share the royalty with you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think like I mentioned earlier, I've been associated with sports and technology for the last decade or so. Worked with companies in this space, and we have really worked across different arenas like performance analysis, wearable technology, and fan engagement. And with fan engagement, I'm associated with Fanisco, which is pretty much into digital fan engagement, and they've been in business for a while. And the moment I saw this advertisement on LinkedIn and saw ICC is hosting it along with you guys, and I saw the agenda and the problem statement, fan engagement. So that was something which was a no-brainer. We just thought, this is our chance to showcase what we have, and we just identified that there are so many areas where we could kind of serve the modern day cricket fan, with digital fan engagement strategies. And in this hackathon, we obviously got a lot of good mentorship from the guys from the ICC itself, as well as the other mentors who were put on board. So they also helped us understand in detail in terms of what to pitch, how to pitch, and what clicks, what doesn't click. And there were multiple other things that we considered in the journey as well, which was pretty nicely organized as well. Congrats to you guys in terms of having the pathway to kind of showcase, this is what we'll do first, then we'll have mentorship round, then we'll have the presentation round, and then the finals, right? So that was kind of helpful to know in terms of when do we need to complete what tasks, right? So that was pretty useful as well. So yeah, kudos to you and the team. And the mentors as well, they were really helpful in terms of making us understand where we are in the journey, right? So from a perspective of helping all the new hackathon participants who are willing to do these kind of things in the future, or participate in different hackathons. I think the first and foremost thing that we need to consider is that, in the problem statement, are we creating a solution to a problem, or are we trying to find a problem to a solution that exists, right? That's the biggest takeaway that I could kind of pass as advice to people. A lot of times we are excited about, I know how to do this, right, and I have a great product, but the point is, does it have a market fit, or is there a solution that you're trying to provide to a problem, or is it the other way around, right? Sometimes we get too engrossed in, I'm great at this, I know this, I have a great product, but then if there's no market fit, there's no product and solution mapping, right? So I think that's where we need to understand, where is the problem statement lying, and what problem are you trying to solve? And does that have utility? Does that have immediate implementation agendas with the client that you're trying to propose it to? And also, does it bring in revenue? That's another important aspect, right? You could have the best product in the world, but then it could just be another Taj Mahal sitting somewhere, but if it doesn't bring revenue, right, there's no point of launching that. So I think that is where we figured out that we need to kind of work towards that model of finding a problem statement, then trying to find the solution. And if I could give one advice to everybody who's participating, I think one thing which I will tell people is, do not show all your cards at once. Hold something back for the finals. I think that was a big learning for us. So what we did was, the prototype that we presented during the I may call it the semi-final round before the finals, where we were trying to showcase our solution to the panelists. We didn't show the actual final product in itself. So we showed a prototype version which was kind of similar to it, but then the panelists had a very specific question marked to us, wherein can you show something different in the finale if you are selected, right? So for that answer, we were actually really taken aback. We didn't expect that they will ask you to present something different. So we said yes, and then we had to kind of do a backward integration, so start planning that what can we present in the final which is different than this. So that also helped in terms of understanding that you can't be a one trick pony wherein you just show one thing and say, yeah, this is what we are. And you got to adapt, you got to innovate, you got to kind of quickly implement things which are asked at the last moment as well. So that's pretty much my advice.
Got it. Yeah, definitely. I'd say some tricks as to how the market fit, and obviously, if you are a startup, if you are a working professional, then obviously it needs to generate some revenues, right? And it is not the leverage that a student or a young innovator has, wherein it's not just about the revenue, but only about the hackathon and a prototype, and obviously then further taking it into startup. So each of us have a different journey at different junctures, but each of us present here today have somewhere or the other won different hackathons. And that's why we wanted to have a panel so diverse, so that everyone who is listening to us today has someone to connect to. And on the similar lines, Mike, what do you feel when you select a hackathon, and how do you get to know, what is that moment when you actually decide that this is the hackathon I want to go completely into? And also, do explain me the moment, the moment when you actually do not end winning, and what is it that keeps you running every time and make sure that you participate in the next hackathon, that you feel suitable and come successful again, because that is something which is very essential to a lot of student hackathon participants out there. I remember my journey. I had gone straight 6 to 7 hackathons without winning, right? And I would have given up easily. I hadn't won any of them before, but the moment you get to know the how to pitch, you would keep on winning hackathon after hackathon. Like, if you could shed some light on how is it that you select a hackathon, and how then you further make sure that if you have not been able to be successful in that hackathon, how do you get up and um, make sure that you compete in the next. A fun fact, guys, present over here is that Mayank was also one of the finalists in which Renu had won. He was the finalist in ICC Next Sinal, but unfortunately he was not able to make it. But the very next hackathon, Electron, he actually ended up winning. So that is why the question is for you, Mayank. if you could throw us some light.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, so coming to your very first question, I think how me and my team chose a particular hackathon is based on what our strong point is. For example, our products were generally based on AR, VR. We were more interested in creating a metaverse kind of thing for the clients, as in, for example, ICC or maybe the Election Commission of India, right? And we would look at the problem statements and observe them and carefully plan where and when can we implement this as a solution. It might not necessarily be the main solution. It can be a part of the solution. For example, in Electhon 2023 by the Election Commission of India, our metaverse was used just as a demo to represent what actually our product named DigiVoter does, right? But I think that was the point wherein our team got an unfair advantage, I would say, over the others, because we were actually able to show a demo to the Election Commission of India, right? And so yeah, I think that is basically what we planned when we were choosing a hackathon to how can we implement our strong foot into the problem statements lined up by Hack to Skill and the organizations which were conducting a certain hackathon. Now, coming to your second question, it's a little bit tricky actually. So there's a very funny story around it. When we were starting out initially, we had no agenda of actually winning a hackathon. So what we actually got from our college one time was this documentation called the ranking matrix, right? And it's basically a matrix of various academic as well as co-curricular and extracurricular achievements a particular student has achieved. And there are various marks allotted to each of the activities. And there was a specific section called as competitions participated in or hackathons won, right? And so there were certain points given for just participating in a hackathon. And we just wanted to have those points. We did not believe that we would be able to actually win a hackathon starting off, and we just wanted to participate, and we can show just the certificate to them saying, "Hey, we participated in this hackathon," and give us the mandatory 2 out of 5 marks, right? And but luckily, we were so engrossed in our very first hackathon that we actually created a very usable product which solved a real world problem and ended up winning that hackathon. And after that, our scenario completely changed. We were like, oh, actually we have this potential to actually go out and compete with others and win certain hackathons. But the very second hackathon, the ICC Next 10 hackathon, which you said, we were very keen on winning this because it was a grand hackathon, right? We were flown to Bangalore and we stayed in the best of places. We stayed in Taj, and then we get to meet all of these celebrity sports person like Dinesh Karthik and Anil Kumble and celebrities like Sanjana Ganeshan. And so we were very much into it that, we need to win this one. And yeah, so although we tried our very best, I think Venu sir and his team appeared to be a bit much, I would say, stronger than us. And although I don't think it was a drawback for us, the experience in itself was so enriching. We got to meet so many, outstanding people all across the world, not just India. We had participation from Greece and Canada and USA, as well as India, that it was all worth it. At the end, I don't think I was at all disappointed by not winning. Making it to the finals was in itself a very big deal for us. And yeah, a sense of confidence was instilled in us. and we came to know that okay, the bar is much more high, and if we want to, perform in such kinds of and such level of hackathons, we have to up our game. And basically that's how we strived harder to compete in more hackathons, and finally ended up winning Electron 23 and some other hackathons.
Really well explained, Mayank, and how a college student from a tier 2 or a tier 1 college actually gets into the hackathon ecosystem and experiencing those moments, how which actually let you define your career further, obviously, I'd say. And for me and many others, I do believe that hackathons are something which let you explore what the entire innovation industry is all about. Network with people whom you only dream of meeting and interacting with, and actually eventually getting in to know insights and feedback of what they understand about your product. Similarly, like Aditya, like you have been the winner of ISRO hackathon that recently happened. And my question to you is that, did you ever get overwhelmed at certain scenario wherein it was such that it's a ISRO hackathon, it's a space technology, it is no taught nowhere in any curriculum? How I, a normal guy from a college, participate, and eventually I'll have the exact prototype or exact requirements which the team needs and ultimately come up with you. So where did you get the confidence from? If you could share what was the things that you lined up, how did you prepare, what was the kind of research? Because obviously, like it is a completely new domain, it's a challenging domain. I myself have delved into it a couple of times and do feel that it's very challenging at times. So Aditya, if you could throw
Sure,
some light. Yeah.
sure. So I would like to put across that I started out with hackathons from ninth grade out of interest. And my first hackathon was a 24-hour hackathon, and I was alone along with the new people then. So that was my first point of learning. And I've learned a lot from participating in a lot of hackathons, and I'd like to go through all of these learnings. And I'd like to put across again, because you asked where the confidence came from, right? I like to put across a few things, a few myths actually. Um, so first, I want to quote Venu sir for talking about how Hack to Skill actually paved a pathway. So when you go for other this is the first time I've seen this as well. When you go for other hackathons, they just say you gotta work on the project and give them a POC, a proof of concept. But with Hack to Skill, it was completely different. So what you guys did was you guys put it into phases. So there was a mentor phase, there was a initial phase, then there was an intermediate phase, and it kept going. And that is what helped us streamline our goals much better. So I like to put across that when you choose a hackathon or a problem statement, we need not get very overwhelmed, because in the end, it's just you showcasing your skills and your technical abilities as well as your problem solving abilities. Now, when we choose a hackathon problem statement or something, we have to look at the relevance of it. How relevant is it to my skills or my interest? Now, okay, here's one more point I'd like to put across, a really big learning from accidentally getting selected into some hackathons that I never thought I would get into. So more than your knowledge, more than your technical expertise, or if you know anything, it's about your interest. So if you're really interested in anything, you can do it. Nothing is impossible, right? So when you choose a problem statement, for example, the ISRO hackathon itself, what we did, we studied the practical feasibility. So we were interested in cybersecurity problem statement, and this was one of the only cybersecurity problem statements that were there. And we looked into, is it feasible? Is it possible? Is something like that? Is that end product possible? So that's where the market research comes in. We look into, is there other similar products that we can learn from? Now, again, no one can be purely and completely original. All your thoughts and everything you do is inspired from somewhere. So what can we inspire ourselves from? So we looked into similar products. We looked into what exists and what we can do. Now, again, it's not a question of what we can do, but it's a question of what we're interested in doing. So we planned a lot. We planned to make an entire suite, and we did end up doing that. And it's not one night's work, right? This hackathon was a really long hackathon. So what I'm trying to put across is that if you're really interested in it, even if you don't now, myself, for example, I did not know much about AI before I came for the ISRO hackathon, even though we worked on an AI product. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's all about your interest. If you're really interested in something, you can do it. It's not really impossible. That was these days, especially with ChatGPT and Bard and all of that available, nothing's impossible really. So it's about the interest more than your knowledge. And I'd also like to go across a few other points. It's about what goals do you have? For example, I've participated in 2 hackathons till now by Hack to Skill. One is the ISRO hackathon. Over there, my goal was really just to have a feel, and see how far this product that we're working on can go. Another hackathon that I participated in by Hack to Skill was the FinTech Festival, the Scale Plus 91 hackathon. And over there, my entire goal was networking. And I saw a really good opportunity and I tried my best to seize it. So when we select a hackathon, you have to look into what kind of hackathon you want to go to. It's about your goals. It's about the hackathon aligning with your goals if you want to take it up. And yeah, so study the practical feasibility, then participate with your dreams in mind, and even implement your dreams. And one more takeaway I have that I'd like to share with all of you from my experience with hackathons is that market research is key. Now, again, technical feasibility is technical things is what people usually look into, but you have to look into the market research. You have to look into can you market your product really well? And is there an innovation, a unique selling point? All of those is what matters during the presentation. And the presentation is the final point where, the whole thing gets decided. So these are the takeaways that I'd like to put across. Yeah.
Thanks, Aditya. Thanks a lot. Like riding onto the wave of Next in 1.0, the ICC Global Cricket Hackathon, we launched another series of it, and that is a second iteration in November was the finale of November 2023, and we have the winner of ICC Next in 2.0, Mihir amongst us. So Mihir, my question to you is that you were working on a product, right? You were working on curating it, you were having a feedback. So I want to know from you is how much of the impact does a feedback create in a startup's journey, in a hackathon participant's journey, a team's journey, and how much does it help to come up successfully in the hackathon? Obviously, and again, please do share your experience and how did you come to know about the hackathon and what was the journey all about, and what were the things that you'd like to suggest to our audience who are looking forward to participate in hackathons or who are already in the different hackathon stages right now, because as we speak there are a couple of ongoing hackathons, specifically the Google Gen AI hackathon. It is the Asia Pacific edition, and we have got such an enormous amount of response that we are just going through the evaluations right now. So if you could just throw some light over there, Mihir, that it could not only help fellows who have joined in right now and also those who are working on it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So the first thing is, whenever you choose a hackathon, especially with my experience with Hack to Skill, I'd like to, give a special mention that the hackathon was so very well organized. Like, Aditya, Venu, Mayank already, have gone over this. It was so well organized that we had different phases, and every phase brought about some learning, brought about some very good feedback. So your question about how important the feedback is, it is very important. Stumpi as a product was, like you said, we were working on the product already, and the ICC hackathon came. And for me, it was a good opportunity for me to showcase what we were trying to do. And, by participating into the hackathon, especially given the audience, given the ICC background in picture as well. So that was a perfect platform. what really helped was, like you exactly pointed, was the feedback, because at every phase we got feedback. In fact, now that Stumpa is now becoming a product and ready to launch soon, some of the features that we've actually implemented as part of a go-to product now have actually is born out of the feedback that we got during different phases of the participation of the hackathon. For example, one of the mentors just made a comment that, how would you know that the stumps are getting disturbed? And that's when, an idea came across that why don't we put a sound sensor? Because, from that angle, having LED lights is not going to help us. So that's where the idea of including a sound sensor came in. Now, another feedback we had is, how are you going to make sure that the stump is going to work for, say, 6 hours or 7 hours, because all the components are wireless. So that's where we thought, okay, how can we make sure that the stump is always wired up, is always powered up, and so on. So a lot of ideas and refinement of your product, refinement of your project, or refinement of ideas will actually come from feedback. And that's one of the most important bits that I would like to say everybody, that when you're participating in the hackathon, I've also seen some of the comments that are coming through on the channel where people are, saying, sure, is it good that jury and judges and mentors, they ask you more questions? And I would say, yes, it is really good, because more questions lead to more ideas, and more ideas will lead to more answers. So the other thing I want to add is, whatever project you're working on, like Aditya very well mentioned, that your passion, your interest needs to be aligned to that. I mean, there's no point me being, a cricket fanatic trying to, participate in a hackathon, which is probably doing something to do with hospitals, because that's not something that I'd be, giving any inputs or giving any value adds. So I wouldn't participate in the hackathon just for the heck of it, or just to, put that as a part of my resume that, oh, I participated in this hackathon, whether or not I went too far ahead in that. I would always see that, you choose the hackathons where you think your skills are going to be a value add to the whole idea or the project or the work that you're going to do. Secondly is, the idea has to be very simple. It should be very easy for people to accept it, understand it, embrace it, use it. If an idea just remains like a brilliant idea, I might think of a rocket which takes me to Pluto, for example. That's a brilliant idea, right? But is it feasible? Is it something that people would want to sit on the rocket and travel to Pluto all the way? That's more important. So a lot of these factors, like market fit, like who are going to be your end users, what is your USP, how does it make a difference to the users who are probably using an existing system, and so on. So you have to first answer those questions before you try and get into the hackathon mode. Once you're there, yes, there's constant feedback. You get feedback from the mentors. Hack to Skill is doing fantastically well to line up appropriate mentors as well. Like, ours was a cricket product, and we had mentors who understood the game, who understood, what we are talking about. That is really important. So getting that genuine feedback is really important, and working on the feedback makes your idea even more refined, makes even more difference. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, really appreciate Mihir, the way you explained the importance of feedback, and like how taking inputs from the mentors and implementing it before they come up the next round, and be prepared with the question answers to their questions. That's what actually creates a X factor, or the defining factor in our winners, and differentiate us the winners, and not from the audience. But yeah, definitely you all are the winners in some of the other hackathons, or you all are gonna win. But it's just about some little things, I'd say, that we keep in mind as participants, and things which create an impact, be it our pitch, be it our product selection, not only the product selection, but also the problem statement selection, or the creativity that we come up with. So like, as we speak, like when we speak of Google Maps, the first thing that comes to our mind as a utility of Google Maps is a car hailing app, or a quick commerce, or a delivery app. This is what comes to our mind as a utility of Google Maps. But we have with us today Charmi and Bhumi. If you both of you could uh, let us know what was the exact thought process when you were coming up with the idea that you thought of, the novel idea that you guys had, and then how you worked upon it what were the challenges that you faced as student participants, and how you planned it out. So Bhumi and Charmi, if you could just let us know.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hi.
So, the first the hackathon is seen by Bhumi, and the situation is created with me that my friend is not come with us because of the road. She is pregnant. She was pregnant, and she was not able to come with us because of the road condition of the road. So we tell her to choose the another road to come to the destination. So then the idea was came up that we can build the use of maps, Google Maps, and build the idea that help that pregnant woman.
So for the first time when I see the hackathon, I wasn't sure I want to participate or not. But then I take a chance to get into it, and I have multiple ideas. But the ideas that Charmi gave me was the best one, and we worked on that. We want to actually build some product which can really make a difference, which can help people, and which can make people lives easier. So we think that this is the best idea, and by using this idea, we can actually create some application which can be helpful for pregnant women. So using that, we have really build many features in the application, and we face many challenges as well. There are some time when the API integration was difficult and we can't able to solve the some problems and some errors, but using the mentor support and the help, we can actually get the good result of our idea.
Got it. Yeah. Obviously, like I believe, like I have faced situations wherein getting the team aligned to select one problem statement of different suggestion is the hardest challenge to overcome. And like one last question as we move ahead. From me is that, to Mayank specifically, like so you have been participating, you have a team. I do see like you have some fellow mates with whom you regularly participate. So how do you decide a problem statement in a scenario wherein your teammates have equally anticipated and equally eager and zealous problem statement that they have selected against you, who you think is that? How do you come to a conclusion that this is one problem statement that we will go ahead with?
Okay, so uh, given my fellow teammates, I would first of all like to give them a huge shout out. I've mentioned their names earlier, and I would like to do that again. My teammates, three of them are Sarvottam Mishra, Pranav Kumar, and GK Raghav. So we were classmates from the beginning of our college. We were in the same class, and we started participating in hackathons in, I think, our fourth or fifth semester. Yeah, uh, during our third year, I'd say fifth semester, yes. And the problem which you just said, Kaushikya, is very real. There are multiple, problem statements in a particular hackathon, and everyone's thought process is different. And sometimes there are clashes between the team members that no, we should do this, or maybe Sarvottam says we should go in a separate direction, and I say that no, we should, given the technologies we can leverage, this problem statement is much more suitable for us. So I think how we used to resolve this clash is by basically sitting in a room and discussing each and every problem statement, and making a pro and con list of every problem statement we came across. So every problem statement has certain benefits specifically for us in order to pursue that problem statement and build a product around that. And sometimes there are also some cons related to it, right? A benefit would be, as I said earlier, that we are, pretty good at creating projects which leverage AR, VR, and metaverse. So if there is a problem statement revolving around gamification of a particular solution or creating a metaverse out of, for example, the uh, metaverse we created for the ICC's hackathon, right? So there was a clear-cut problem statement mentioning that hey, you have to engage the fan experience and enhance the fan experience of cricket fans by creating an immersive game around it. So I think in that scenario, it was the perfect problem statement for us to choose, given the technology we were masters at. But again, given the Electron 2023, wherein there wasn't a clear-cut problem statement catered directly to our technologies and technologies in which our team was good at. So we cleverly dodged, uh, or I would say placed underneath a sub-solution of the initial solution, wherein, as I said, we presented a demo in the form of a game or a metaverse, if you allow me to say that. So I think that is one way of tackling it, to build the product focusing on the major problem statement which you are solving, but also leverage your strong suits in order to gain some extra advantage amongst your competitors for a particular hackathon. That is, in my opinion, the best scenario.
Yeah, so as all of us have spoken a few topics that everyone actually finds difficult to understand too, I'd quickly like to sum it up all before we move on to the segment wherein Avnish would be having few more folks who were selected to ask questions directly to the winners. So I'd say, like, in my opinion, success mantra, there's no success mantra. First of all, it is totally about how empathetically you understand the requirements of the hackathon. So first thing which I used to make sure when selecting a hackathon is that whether or not I am relating to the problem statements out there, and whether or not I have been able to detect a challenge that is present in that ecosystem. It's not just about finding the solution and presenting it, it's about connecting with the jury. That's the first step, I'd say. And like, how you establish the challenge that you are visiting, because at times it happens when you're taking very niche problem statements, the jury might not be able to see the challenge as huge as it is. So I always suggest in the mentoring session that do make sure that you state the importance or impact of the current ecosystem, be it, let's say, through numbers. And then once you begin trying to solve the challenge, you do a lot of research. Obviously, you have got friends or teammates who are working around, be it startup, be it working professional groups, or even students. It's all about how you curate work along with the team. And obviously, the best part is that if you are playing according to the strength of each team member, obviously you have got something in your recipe that will end up winning the hackathon. So these are the few things which I do believe personally. And obviously, the last thing is that how well you present, no matter what your prototype is, no matter how well you have come up with the solution. But if you're not able to present it to the jury, or if the jury does not connect with you, it is all in vain. So it's a combination of different effects that you place, and that you keep into platter and work around with it. So this is what I would say. And again, as we are discussing, we'll be having more such sessions moving ahead. But before we move on, let's Avnish, over to you, if you could just take us through the next part.
Sure. So thank you so much, everyone, and Kaushik for this session and the segment around panel discussion with all the panelists. So this was quite insightful, and I see a lot of people had questions in the chat box as well, and the panelists are actively solving it. So it was kind of a lot fruitful for everyone. So thank you so much. Now moving on to the next segment that we have is about early adopters and what exactly is early adopters program is there's something lined up in the series of hack to skills miracles that we are doing. So from this curated group of people, we have top four who are quite active on this community of the early adopters hub, and we are giving them the opportunity to ask the question live with the panelists, and there are more perks for that. So with that, I like to invite Prajwal, the first candidate in the top four early adopters.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Hey, yeah, hi Prajwal, you are
Yeah.
perfectly audible. Welcome to the session.
All
So you
right.
can just put your question.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I mean, I've participated in a couple of hackathons, right? And this is one thing that I think I sometimes face crossroads at. So since y'all are experienced, I want to ask you this. So let's say you're working on building an important part of your MVP, okay, a sub problem, but then you're stuck on it, and you spend a couple of hours trying to resolve it, but then you're not making progress. So at what point do you actually consider taking another route? If so, let's say you take up a new technology from scratch and then try to get around that, or do you double down on solving it? So at what point of time do you say that, okay, let's focus on this, or do you switch and then take another route? Because time is important, and then you have to build your MVP as well. So what would your approach be?
Got it. Okay, Prajwal. So I believe Mihir would be the right person to answer this question.
Okay.
Sorry, did you mention my name? No, I didn't get it.
Yeah, Mihir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think timing is very important. It depends on how much time you've got left. Let's say your next phase, your next round where you want to present is, say, about a week away. Then that gives you enough time for you to judge whether you have to continue working on, getting your problem solved. If you're short of time, then you have to think of an alternate way of how to still go ahead and present your idea. But it could just be, explaining what you want to do. But you could say that because of the time limitation, this is not something that I was able to achieve, though I, tried my best. But this is my approach. This is my idea. This is how I look to solve it. And if I have adequate time, then I definitely work on it. So that's how I approach it. I think timing is the key here.
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
Can I just add to Meer's point here, Avnish? Just a quick note. And this is a live example which I would like to present. So we had a similar issue during our hackathon idea as well, wherein, it was a presentation day for us, and we had to showcase something on the mobile phone to our panelists by, sharing a screen and stuff. So at that point in time, we were not able to develop an iOS prototype, right in the nick of time to present. So the plan B was for me to kind of, borrow my mom's phone, which was an Android, and then use that as an example to showcase that, to the panelists, and which actually worked. So that's why, to me, his point one is obviously know how much time you have. Secondly, always have a plan B ready if plan A doesn't work, right? So that is something which I would always advise, have a backup plan always ready to kind of showcase.
Right.
Got it. So thank you so much, Vinu and Mihir. And Prajwal, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, and I got a lot of insights. Yeah.
Got it.
All
Got
right.
it. Thank you so much, Prajwal. So we can move on to the next candidate. And up next, we have Riddhima, and she is also one of the early adopters with her question. So, Riddhima, you can ask your question now.
Hello everyone. So my question is, how can one effectively implement a revenue model in the project while struggling to identify for the project should be made for a good cause or should be made for good money?
Got it. So, Vinu, I believe you can take it.
That's an interesting one, Ridhima. And in fact, if you remember, Mihir, we had a live case study of this during your hackathon as well, right? Wherein one of the guys presented something for the visually impaired, I believe. And I think, Ridhima, in these cases, you have to identify whether your project is more from a CSR angle or is it from a revenue generation angle, right? So that is something which you need to identify, whether which market segment are you trying to cater to. Because, eventually what happened, and I'm trying to take this example again, wherein, one of the presenters there, they had presented an idea of, glasses which also talk to visually impaired people to identify where the ball is, while they play cricket. And they give you GPS coordinates of how to locate a cricket ball, how to kind of sense it while they're playing and stuff. So the judges really liked it, but eventually what they said is this is not a direct revenue generation model from a business standpoint, but from a CSR standpoint it's really useful. Because if you see now, most of the companies around the world and even in India, right, there's a certain budget allocated for CSR funds. So that also becomes a revenue generation model for the team as well, right? It's just that you need to identify which target market segment are you catering to. Is it mainstream market wherein anybody could buy the product, or is it a specific segment of the market? For example, in this scenario, their market segment was visually impaired people, right? So there's a percentage of people living in that segment, right? So how do you cater to that? By using the CSR budget, right? So obviously you will make money out of it, but may not be direct money. It might be through the CSR budget of the company. So those are the things which you need to identify.
Got it. So thank you so much, Venu. Ridhima, I hope this answers your question for now.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Ridhima, for joining. Now, up next, we have Rutuja.
Yeah. Hey everyone. So my question is what advice would you give to the participant aiming to win a hackathon, considering both technical skills and non-technical skills, such as team dynamic and project presentations?
Got it. Okay, so I believe Aditya, you can take this up well.
Sure. So again, technical and non-technical. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind, that is one really key thing for your hackathon, is you need to know who is good at what. So your team composition should be known by everyone. Everyone should know if this is a technical guy. This guy can do marketing really well. This guy can do presentations really well. And based on that, we take up what tasks that we'll be doing as a part of the entire solution. So again, it's all about the skill set and people willing to learn, obviously. But if you're looking from a winning point of view, it's all about the skills that you already have and leveraging all that you have with you at that point of time. Now, one thing I'd like to also add is that many people usually just focus on the technical part of the hackathon, the prototype, the development, the coding, etc. But again, the non-technical, that is the presentation, the market research, the plan to grow, the future plan, the future scope, maybe projections if required by the jury. So all of those is also important. So in the end, it's just you showing what you have to your judges, right? So it is about what the judges or the jury understands from you. And that happens during the non-technical delivery or presentation phase. And in that phase, what matters most is both technical as well as non-technical. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
thank you so much, Aditya. Rutuja, I hope that answers your question for now.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you
Great,
so
great.
much.
Thank you so much for joining, Rutuja. All right. All right. So up next, we have Sumit. Yeah. Hi, Sumit. You can ask your question now. Sumit, you are on mute. You can unmute yourself and ask your question now.
Hello.
Yeah.
So my question is how the important is the teamwork in a hackathon, and what the method can team use to be collaborate effectively.
Got it. So, Mayank, I guess you can take this up.
Sure, sure. Hi, Sumit. So, not just for Sumit, I would like to share a very niche tip. It's almost a hack to everyone whenever you're participating in a hackathon. And I think everyone here in the panel secretly does that. So, what you can do is, especially in Hack to Skill hackathons, you already know who are the judges, right? You know the details and the LinkedIn profiles as well. So what you can do is to get an angle of the entire jury on how they would be looking at your project, and so what all features you should implement in your particular project. You can run a background check of the jury, right? Each and every judge, and accordingly you can implement a certain feature to impress a particular jury in your project, I would say. And so I think this is a tip which has worked for us in the past and for various other panelists, I would say. Kaushibia also mentioned this particular tip to us some time ago, and I think it's extremely helpful. So yeah, that would be my tip for you.
Thank you, Manish sir. And thank you, Vinu sir and Mia sir. You have great information for me as well as a newcomer in a hackathons. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Sumit. I hope that answered your question. Thank you for joining me. Now, up next, we have the last concluding segment of this panel discussion, where Kaushik will be sharing a lightning keynote and what all this fuss is about around early adopters, the big announcement, the big reveal. So, handing it over to Kaushik for now.
Thanks, Amnish. But to be honest, uh, I haven't prepared anything for the lightning keynote that you mentioned. So yeah, let's align with the vision of Hack to Skill, I'd say. And this is the first time I'd say we are publicly speaking about it. We haven't spoken about it anywhere yet. So what we are gonna do is that we at Hack to Skill always do believe in inculcating the culture of innovation amongst developers, innovators, idea creators, no matter what domain they are from. Be it like, are they engineers? They are from science background. They are from non-tech background. No matter where they belong from, if they have an idea, if they want to create an impact, and if they have something in themselves, we are there to help them ignite their entire journey, be it through mentor mentee connects, be it through our hackathons, sessions, etc. And such, it is our continuous endeavor to keep on improving. We have been doing this for past 8 years right now. We have been concluding with hackathons. We have been presenting the best of the opportunities, be it the likes of Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and other organizations, if you name it. If no matter what the domain is, we have been powering the Smart India Hackathon, the biggest open innovation model in the entire world, um, which is run a flagship event of Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. We are the people behind the Snapchat community in India, running their hackathons, AR/VR hackathons by the name of Lensathon. We are the ones who cater to government institutions through hackathons like Electron, the various police department hackathons, and be it global organizations, FMCG brands, all of it. We cater to all the industry, and as such, in this continuous effort, we are moving ahead with the next version of the product that will cater to everyone. And this is what we have been waiting for, and we have been doing this entire time. I'd say the product team was up to some work definitely at Hack to Skill, that's for sure. And in such a line and length, for people who might have visited our website, they must have seen something new coming up. Stay tuned. The early adopters program that we are running up. So to announce it, I'd say there's something on the stage, right? It needs to be brought up. Yeah. So we are launching Vision by Hack to Skill. That's the name of the product that we'll be announcing soon. We'll be releasing in closed alpha to some of you, our fellow participants, our fellow innovators who have been with us throughout and who have joined in the early adopters. Do check out your inboxes and get access to the next generation of innovation management platform that is gonna be out there soon. And this is in line with the series of events and announcements that we'll be doing related to the product innovation management hackathons, and how we are looking forward to explore and look into the field of changing how the organizations work. So just speaking about the impact that we are creating today, so be it through Venu's solution in ICC Next in 1.0, or Mihir's solution in Next in 2.0. They are changing the way cricket is experienced, be it through Venu's solution in which a viewer is getting a live real feed of a AR wagon wheel, or be it Mihir's solution wherein a young cricketer who does not have the exposure or financial limits to have accessibility to the technology to train, these are the solutions that are out there. This is what our motive is, that how we bring and solve world's problem, not only India's problem. We solve the world's first problem, be it through our Gen AI hackathons, be it through our series of other hackathons that we'll be announcing soon in the lead up to the next this month, be it RAT's solution, which looks into the aspect of delving into the possibilities of space technology, be it Mind's different solution, which was one of which was also implemented and piloted in the Karnataka state elections by the Election Commission. So this is the impact that we all of us are trying to create with the help of you fellow developers, innovators out there. And this is just in line to cater to you and provide you even more seamless experience, and those who are just beginning their career to look into the aspect of what are the possibilities of innovation, and giving you a platform wherein you can directly provide your innovation to organizations, to government institutes, to colleges, to startups who are looking forward to young and bright minds like you. So this is what we have been doing up all this time over the past few months. So this is gonna be launching soon, and do keep an eye on your inbox, also on Hack to Skill social media. Apart from this, we have one other item that we'll be doing in the series of events leading up to the launch of the platform. It is, we'll be launching our own bugathon, which would be dedicated to all of you. We are all welcoming all the developers to find as many bugs as you can onto the platform, so that before we go public, we know where we are lacking, we know what are the things that needs to be fixed before going to the production, so that we do not go there and see, like, there's a phrase, right, code bhatia. So that doesn't happen with us. That is what the motive is. And obviously, getting back again, do keep an eye for the platform that we'll be launching soon. And once again, teasing another opportunity that will be coming, we are soon going to launch a series of AI based hackathons. So all the AI fanatics out there, just keep an eye. We'll be having not one, not two, not five, but as many as you think of. Every fortnight there will be a hackathon for you. So stay tuned and follow Hacktoskill. So over to you, Avnish.
We got it. So thank you so much for the announcement, be it platform or the series of hackathon bombarding on all the developers. So definitely looking forward to it and very excited myself for this journey. Now, just a few things that a lot of people here were asking in the chats about hackathon opportunities. Will AI be the next innovation, and all about goodies and swag? So if you're any developer who's looking to win a lot of cool swags or cash prizes, or getting their projects funded, or just upskilling and developing a great portfolio for the next job or internship you're looking for, Vision will be the perfect platform for you to strive upon. So, and also to join the waitlist, we have a waitlist drop up on the hacktoskill.com. You can join the waitlist by just typing your name and email, and we'll further add you to the first phase of the vision that has limited access to few developers. So if you want to be,
Before, sorry to interrupt, Avnish, in between. So, before the organizers who are looking forward to cater to the ecosystem that is out there, we have got something for you as well. Avnish will let you know, and the follow-up meets and sessions that will be coming up, the way we are planning to democratize the entire innovation market, the way we are looking forward to change, revolutionize this entire ecosystem. We would soon be launching Hack to Skill grants for all the developers who are looking forward to organize in their community, in their college, so that you with ease can empower other fellow developers and create certain solutions which change the entire globe. So, yeah, sorry to interrupt on that, please.
no worries. So that was something which needs to be said out loud. Thank you so much for adding that up, Kaushik. So yeah, now again, let's summarize this session with a big thank you note for all the developers who have joined in, and thank you so much for all your questions, excitement. You can join the waitlist for Alpha by visiting hacktoskill.com, and putting your name and verified email. And further, we'll be keeping in touch. So a lot of things are lined up. Stay tuned with the social media and Actoskill website. And once you're a user, we make sure that you upskill throughout as you consistently stay loyal with Hack2Skill. So thank you so much, everyone who has joined, the panelists and Kaushik and whole developer community. So let's make this grand. And as we plan on the next innovation with AI enablement, or be it hackathons, or be it bugathon, everything is just a stepping stone. And let's see how we can unleash whatever creativity we can. So with that note, let's learn to explore our own cheat codes in Vinod's language. Signing off with that, thank you so much for joining, guys. And I look forward to meeting you in next sessions.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.